Hi, and welcome to Filmmakers Compass Podcast, a show where we talk about movies and, well, we're movies. I'm D-Man, joined by CP and CP. We also have a third co-host, a guest today, which I'm very excited to introduce in a minute. But before we do, I just wanted to say I'm very excited for this episode.
We're going to be, in fact, D-Man is so excited for the episode, we are going to be skipping box office breakdown. We're even going to be skipping shout-outs, and we are just getting into discussion about a movie that we both saw recently in the theater.
Absolutely. And we're going to pick up the shout outs. We're going to do all that with the next episode. But I have a feeling, CP, we are going to talk about a very specific movie for a while. So we will pick all that up next time. But I'm really excited to jump into things today. So let's go ahead and do it.
Let's get started.
We both had a chance to go see this anniversary movie in theaters, and we have a guest today. How exciting. Back on the show, returning to talk about another Universal classic, is Kaitlin Moose. So Kaitlin, welcome to the podcast again, and I'm so glad that you're here.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for having me back. I'm so excited.
So I mentioned right out of the gate that CP and I both had a chance to go see this anniversary movie in theaters, which is Back to the Future. 40th anniversary. Did you have a chance to go see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, on Halloween, I went and saw it in IMAX, dressed as Marty McFly with all the other Martys there. It was awesome.
First of all,
Fantastic.
Marty costume is awesome, but D-Man, what kind of terrible guest would she be if she didn't go see the 40th anniversary screening? Come on.
I mean, any chance to see, we talked last time about Jaws, which of course I went to go see in theaters. I think we all did.
Yeah.
Back to the Future. I love that they're doing these anniversary, movies back in the theaters, because a lot of them, Jaws and Back to the Future included, I've never seen on the big screen.
Exactly.
So it was so fun.
It was so funny. My friend that I saw it with has now only ever seen Back to the Future in theaters. And I was like, You don't understand. Your experience is so different from ours.
That is incredible. And you said IMAX, right?
Yeah. I think they, I want to say I don't know exactly what they did. I've been wondering if they kind of almost cropped the image to fill out the IMAX, but I do know they rescanned the originals and digitally enhanced them. But yeah, I'll get to that. But it was good.
Well, CP, I'm going to throw it over to you. Go ahead and introduce Back to the Future a little bit, and then we'll jump in and just start talking about whatever sounds fun. So throw it over to you.
Wow, that's kind of like a lot of pressure. And I feel like you're setting me up for failure because I will mention what I told D-Man in pre-production. I'm actually not a big Back to the Future fan, folks.
Whoa.
What?
Get out
This
of
was
here.
not told to me.
Well, I kind of keep it to myself, but I told D-Man, obviously it was on my list. I was like, it's an anniversary screening. I go see all of them. But I was never I probably could have come up with a list of 280s movies I like better than Back to the Future.
I'm not even going to lie. CP, Back to the Future is on Netflix right now. And last night, before I went to bed, I was going to put on a sitcom, How I Met Your Mother. And you know what popped up right away? Back to the Future. And I just saw it in the theaters a week ago. And it starts auto playing. And it's right when Marty McFly arrives to videotape Doc Brown at the mall. And you know what? I was like, I guess we're watching Back to the Future. Sold.
I mean, I'm glad. So let me be very clear.
But I mean, all jokes aside, I can't believe you were honestly I don't like Back to the Future.
Well, I did.
And that was a wild one.
I was just like, man, I don't know. You know how there's movies that you're like, cool, I've seen it. I don't know that, I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me. That was always my thing. Because I always knew, especially people older than us, were always like, oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite movies. And I'm like,
I think it really helped. My dad introduced me as a kid to the movie, So I think sometimes it helps how your introduction to the movie was.
True.
Sure.
That can help, but yeah. Or you're just wrong. You're wrong.
I mean, that's probably one
And
opinion.
that's where the podcast will end.
That being said, after I got to see it on the big screen, which I went slightly reluctantly, it was one of those anniversary screenings where I was like, if I don't get in, I don't get in. That's fine.
That's nuts.
I totally changed my tune. After seeing it on the big screen, I was like, okay, all right. Yeah. I understand what people love about this movie. And it was a totally different experience. And it's definitely in my top 20 for 80s films now, hands down.
I can't believe if you were making a list of top 20, Back to the Future, top 20 for the 80s, Back to the Future would have been out of it. That's nuts.
Would not have been. Is now. Yeah. So there you go. Everybody You can
That's
hate me. That's
insane
fine.
to me, Christian.
I know. I mean, okay. I'm going to put you on the spot, Caitlin. Name
Yeah.
your top 20 80. No, I'm just kidding.
Can you
Uh,
imagine? No, but Back to the Future is at least like a top five film for me,
Well,
like of
I
all
know
of
it's one
them.
of your favorites, and I was like, I never tell people I don't like it because they're like, what the heck is wrong with you? I'm like, it just
We would like
doesn't
answers.
speak to me.
well,
Um, that being said, I was psyched to when I walked out of it, it was amazing, and as I said, I totally changed my tone. However, I was really disappointed because unlike what I think both of your experiences were, I went in like the most basic bitch theater I could find, and it was even like the small screening where they're like, "Oh, Tron Ares played right before this with like three people, so let's now put Back to the Future in." And even at that, it was like halfway full. I was very underwhelmed with my Back to the Future experience.
I mean, I would
Boo,
have
San
thought that,
Diego.
yeah, I would have thought that it would have filled out like every theater, sold out.
I would have thought so too.
I was honestly surprised when I went to get the IMAX tickets even. City Walk was quite crowded, but I went and saw it in the Burbank IMAX and it wasn't a full theater. So
What?
that was interesting, yeah. But also Halloween I felt like was a weird date.
Yeah, that was a
So I,
weird
All
release.
right.
yeah.
I am going to agree with that. I think if you're going to release this, can I just throw this out there?
Yeah.
Uh, Marty McFly needs to go back in time to October 26th, and they chose the 30th and the 31st to do the 40th
Right.
anniversary. I was like, you were that close and you chose a different day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
But
week earlier and everything's amazing.
yeah, it was like 4 days earlier. And I mean, let's face it, Halloween, like I get it. A lot of people are like, uh, obviously, I think the Dodgers out here in LA, which, we're just talking geographically now, but the Dodgers in game 6 of the World Series was a big deal. And then you have Halloween night where obviously if you have kids, you're going to go trick or
Right.
treating. You're not going to hit the movies. And people probably, because Halloween was on a Friday, they're going to throw parties. It's a weekend
Exactly.
night. So I was like a little bummed because I wanted Back to the Future to have its night, its moment.
Right. Yeah. Agreed.
But
All
how
right.
was it in IMAX? Because I'm curious. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
that's what
see
I
it in
want to know.
IMAX.
I mean, it was wild. The thing that stood out to me was getting to just see everything larger. I started noticing like all the effects. The thing that really stood out was like when they have the older makeup on, their neck makeup was crazy to see that large.
Really? So you could like
Yeah.
you'd notice like the makeup line and
Yeah, because I mean, obviously they're trying to make it look like wrinkly skin, right? But it almost looked like cracked, like I don't know, it was like crackly. It was so like, oh wow, that's makeup. It was so funny.
wow. Oh my gosh,
Do
that's funny.
I do agree with you because I think same scene when they're at the mall, like getting ready to test the DeLorean. There's a scene where Doc Brown like resets the time and he's sitting in the car, but he has sort of the old man makeup, and you could I could see it on like his forehead where it crinkled. It looked like makeup a little bit.
Right,
Where I feel
right.
like back in the day you just got away with that, but now that they've
Correct.
remastered it, I was like, oh, you know what? You kind of see the lines.
Yeah, I started feeling that way about a lot of the effects. And don't get me wrong, like this is not hating on it. I am obsessed with this movie. It was just like seeing it in that format and like you said, remastered. I think it's been enhanced the same way Jaws was, but a lot of the effects started looking like less than like the senior.
Effects.
Yeah, yeah, the scene you're talking about when he first sends Einstein a minute into the future. I need to rewatch that because like the DeLorean disappears and I was like, wait, that felt so
Yeah.
not as whatever
And
as
not as
normal.
smooth as it was.
Yeah, I was like, wait, green screen. Like it was kind of funny, but I really had a blast.
Well, I agree too. That same scene, there's the effect of like the tire streaks and fire. And
Mm,
this was always this way. Like this isn't something that came from being remastered, but as an effect, like you can kind of tell it's supposed to be like the streaks run between both of their legs, like they were standing where the tires were. But because the fire is the size that it is, it's almost like you're literally like standing over fire, and
yeah.
they don't even really sort of acknowledge it, as the effect. It just sort of ran through them.
Yeah. No, it was a good time though. But a lot of
But
a lot of just things like that, I was like, wait, what's happening? But I don't know. The thing that I feel like all huge Back to the Future fans already know, and I'm sure I've like seen this before, but it didn't hit me in a way that I noticed it and both remembered it, was in the very opening scene, you've got all the clocks
Oh
going.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 That was the first time I noticed like the man hanging from the clock. Do you know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? I
I
like
Oh,
actually
never
yeah.
put
Yeah.
that together or like remembered it, like I said. So that stuck out to me seeing it that large.
Well, I was that guy in the theater. I was like whispering to my wife, I'm like, okay, pay attention to the clocks because it'll show you like elements. It's like laying out sort of what's to come.
Exactly. So that was fun to see and like take in all the details like that.
Yeah, it was really cool. I know, like at least in the theater I was in because it was sold out. I mean, there was a lot of cheering. I think, ironically, when Steven Spielberg's name came up, everybody cheered, and my wife even thought this was a Steven Spielberg film, and I was like, "It's not." Robert
Yeah.
Zemeckis directed
Yeah.
this. And I had kind of had to talk to her because I was like, back in the day, they used to do this a lot where they would use name recognition of like at that time, Spielberg's probably, if not the biggest director, but one of the biggest directors in Hollywood. So they're putting his name front and center at this time, to everybody's like, oh, Spielberg, great,
Right, right, right.
Jaws, Raiders, E.T., like Close Encounters. Yes, another Spielberg movie. But I'm like, yeah, he was a producer. And if you go back through his IMDb page, he's a producer on a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
So, and then I kind of blew her mind because I'm like, I bet you still think A Nightmare Before Christmas was directed by Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, yes.
And she's like,
What? Was
what?
it?
Yeah. I was like, no, it's not. Just like Spielberg was, they used his name recognition to really elevate the profile of that movie, and it worked, but
Right.
he didn't direct it.
Oh,
So
so speaking of Tim Burton, Caitlin, you should tell
Okay.
D-Man your story.
let's hear it.
How does Tim Burton go into it if you're saying the one that I
You
think
get it.
you're
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah. Just tell him. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I think what Christian wants me
You
to
know
talk
what I'm
about
talking about.
is I just a few days ago was riding over on the front lot at Universal. There's a commissary it's like a newer building, the Commons. It has both like the kind of cafe area and some screening rooms. And upstairs, they recently designated this one screening room as the Steven Spielberg screening room,
Oh,
that
nice.
theater. So that was like really cool. And I've seen something at Cinegear there. So it's all just kind of like in this building. And I was there doing my writing, la la la. And I look up and you can kind of see like walking across on this second floor to get to that screening room, I lock eyes with Steven Spielberg.
No!
Yes.
What?
He's like walking into that theater and I'm like, huh?
Oh
Like
my God.
we're just staring at each other while he walks by. This is like 3 seconds long, but I'm like
I'm wondering
starstruck.
like what theme song of his movies like ran through your head. It's like you lock eyes and it's like boom, 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 dun dun dun
Yeah,
dun.
no, truly. Because first of all, your brain's like, wait, that person's familiar. And then you're like, wait, is it? Wait, am I being crazy? No, that's definitely him.
That's
And
definitely him.
we're staring at each other. And then, D-man, it gets better. So I'm sitting with a friend at this table writing, and another friend calls me. So I'm like, all right, let me excuse myself. I'm going to take this phone call. And I'm going and standing over in a different part of the commissary. And who walks by? He like appears from behind a pillar. He's like less than 5 feet away from me. Steven Spielberg coming. He's now left his thing.
Oh my
And he's like
God.
walking past me. And I'm like, just losing my mind.
That's incredible. I mean, it's weird because like Steven Spielberg is of a Hollywood profile above even like I guess I'd call them ordinary celebrities.
Yeah.
Like he's like you do not. I mean, obviously, I know you're kind of in a place that's a little bit more exclusive than just out. I saw him at McDonald's.
Yeah,
You're like,
but still,
that's
it was wild.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool, especially because like he's a little less active these days, I think. He's obviously, I think at one time he was probably around more often, but like you were there, oh my God.
Yeah. I was just like, because people ask me all the time, for those who don't know, I'm a tour guide at Universal. And it was people asking all the time, do you see celebrities, blah, blah, blah. And like usually sets are closed down. The tour doesn't go past there necessarily. So sometimes they pop out and wave. But to see, my friend calls him the father of Universal, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Like,
so cool. Oh my
it was,
gosh.
it'll, yeah, that was a major moment for me.
That's so awesome. It was really cool because I think we talked about it the last time you were on, but I had so much fun listening to, there was a documentary made about Jaws.
Mhm.
And obviously he's talking about, however long it is later, like 50 years or whatever. And he's like, it's still one of like the hardest movies I've ever made. And it still kind of haunts me. And I know you told us stories about like back in the day, he came and used to just like chill. I don't know. It's so cool how connected he is to Universal.
Oh, absolutely. And I just feel like so many of our biggest properties are because of, like Jurassic Park,
Yep.
like it just is Steven Spielberg. The longest street on the back lot is called Steven Spielberg Drive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's just integral to what I think most people think of when they say Universal. But yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, if you see him again, I guess tell him I said
yeah,
hey.
right. I'll just be like, hey, you guys want to check out? I got a couple things to pitch you.
Yeah, right. Maybe we could ask somebody on the podcast next time.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even extend an ask. I'm just going to be like, I love your movies and we love them on this podcast. So, uh,
Oh.
man,
No,
that
but D
guy.
man, I want to bring it back to you were saying like Steven Spielberg had such a hard time on Jaws, and we were talking a little bit like about Zemeckis and how, Spielberg's producing Back to the Future. I think it's really interesting that like Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis gave him 1941, which was like Steven Spielberg's first big flop.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And then still they were like developing this relationship with him where they were able to work with him. So I just think that's nice as like we're all filmmakers to be like, okay, uh, you don't necessarily just get like the one shot like you hear about
Yeah.
and you
Yeah, that's
can
true. That's a good point.
Well, and it's
yeah.
funny too, because 1941, I mean, even upon rewatch, all these years later, because that movie's got to be like 40-ish, 40 plus years old.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, it didn't age better. Sometimes, movies aren't well received in their time, and then you watch
Sure.
them later and you're like, it's actually pretty good. I don't know why people didn't like it back then. I don't know. I still didn't really care for it. And I love almost everything Spielberg does.
Right.
But it's still it tonally, there's something off a little bit about it to me. It's like going for these comedy elements
Mm.
and trying, I don't know, something about it. But
So, D man, I gotta ask you,
yeah,
when you went to see Back to the Future, just actually
yes.
going back to what this podcast is about, you
Oh
did
yeah.
see it at the Twin Pine Malls.
So that yes, I was
You
saving that one.
did?
I saw it at the Puente Hills Mall
No
over here in
way.
Puente Hills. So it was not great.
What?
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Wait,
start
what?
there.
What?
So I'm at the
I
Puente
would have
Hills
thought
Mall.
there's like a million DeLoreans in the parking lot.
I know. I did see one DeLorean, and I was super excited because so basically a year ago, Kaitlin, Christian and I had gone to this Star Wars marathon in Irvine at the Irvine Spectrum. Regal, I know we have AMC A list on here, but this Regal experience was fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
getting to go and they did so much stuff for Star Wars. You walked into the lobby and they're playing theme music and they have decorations and cosplay and like it was so fun. So I'm expecting, right, not at every theater where they're doing this anniversary, but at the mall where they filmed a very pivotal and famous scene from the movie, that they
Yeah.
would be doing something fun. And we
Yeah.
get there and it's like another night at the movies.
Oh
So
my gosh,
the
dude. I
fans
can't even
brought the
believe that.
energy. There were people with shirts, people dressed as Marty, and of course, like I said, I saw a DeLorean. And so we watched the movie. Like nobody even came into the theater and said like, "Welcome, to a special experience. This
Yeah.
is where they filmed." But it was great in the sense that the audience was into it. Like I said, they were cheering. Obviously, the biggest cheer of the night was when Marty skateboards up to the mall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody went nuts.
That's
We're there.
awesome.
So that was a lot of fun, and the energy of everybody that was at the showing was great. But the theater itself didn't do that much. So when I left, I told my wife and our friend Anthony, who's also been a guest on this podcast, went with us. Shout out Anthony. And I was like, I'm a little disappointed. Like I thought they would have done something exciting, being a filming location.
Mhm.
And I didn't think anything of it after that. But here's where I want to clarify.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Okay.
It ends up they did do something special at the Puente Hills Mall. It was just on October 26th, that Sunday
Oh,
night when Marty goes back to the future. So I don't know if this is something on our Instagram page, CP, we can repost or whatever. But basically, in the parking lot where they filmed the famous scene where the Libyans show up, DeLoreans everywhere. They had the van that said reelect the mayor. They had dogs that looked like Einstein.
Oh
Everybody was
my
dressed as
gosh.
Marty, and it was this giant celebration. I just missed it because they picked probably the proper night to do it.
wait. Does this happen every year at that mall?
They do have different things every year. Like they'll have like a skateboard event, but not like this. Like this was
Oh my
DeLoreans
gosh.
everywhere.
Dude, and we missed
Insane.
this?
I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my gosh, that sounds awesome.
I thought that stuff would be on the night of the showing, but it kind of makes sense because it was like Halloween. So they probably were like, no, let's do the 26th where everybody will be here.
Mhm.
And because let's face it, I mean, if you have a DeLorean and it's Halloween night, that thing might be booked.
Right.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's true.
So
That's true.
anyway, just to clarify, they did do an insane celebration. I missed it. Something we'll share on social media, so take a look out for this. But I have a keyframe of when it says Twin Pines Mall with Marty, and I brought my tripod and got a photo of me right there. I'm
Nice.
gonna crop
So
it so they're
cool.
like one to one,
Nice.
and I'll do a above and below so you can see what it looks like. But I had a
I
Dude,
love
blast.
that.
It was
that's
cool.
Love
so
it.
cool.
Have you guys been to any of the other like filming locations? Because I haven't done that yet, and they're like so close.
No,
I've
I actually
seen
haven't.
Brown's house in like
Okay.
Pasadena,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Yeah. And all like, I think like George and Lorraine's house, they're super close, and like all of that's
CP,
it'd
she's
be good.
throwing
Yeah.
out podcast ideas. We might have to go do a
Go on the road.
Back to the
Road trip,
Future
Back to the
location
Future.
tour.
Yeah,
Caitlin,
dude. How fun would that
come
be?
with us.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll
I'm
go
in.
check all the locations.
Yeah,
Like
you're the pro at this.
Yeah.
We should actually just tag along as you do this.
I was like, I've been meaning to do it this year,
Martha's
but
Vineyard
yeah,
2.0.
no, yeah, exactly. I mean,
So,
of course, my favorite one is Courthouse Square. That one I
oh
gotta
yeah,
just
there you
be
go.
like
Yeah, well, okay,
all the
okay.
time.
Let's talk about because you get to drive through this every single day. Like,
Yeah,
and this is a movie you love. Like, I mean, I know that they've changed the facade of the courthouse, right?
sure.
But
No,
like,
it's probably the best part of my job is I can go walk the back lot, and sometimes I'll just sit there and be like, "Oh, Courthouse Square, I love you so much." Um, yeah, it's amazing for those who have maybe not seen it. When you take the Universal Studios tour, the tram is going to drive you through if it's available, which is always so sad. So many guests are like, why don't we get to see the clock tower? Because we are a filming studio, so a lot of people film there all the time. Metro sets are closed a lot, unfortunately, for our guests. But when you do get to drive through there, you'll hear us talk about like you just said, the facade is different. The cool thing is the original clock tower is still back there. But as you can imagine, just like we're talking about 40th anniversary, people are bringing their DeLoreans, dressing up as Marty still. It became too recognizable. So other
yeah.
productions, in order for them to be able to use the area, they
Yeah.
stuck another facade in front of it. So like a really recent one you might have seen is the Ted series on
Oh, okay.
Peacock. Yeah, the
Yeah.
prequel series to the movies. That's John Hancock High School is what
Oh, okay.
the clock
Okay.
tower is. Yeah.
No way. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
funny. Okay.
So you'll even see that area like dressed up as different things, and that's always cool. But no, the coolest thing this spring, Universal did its very first Fan Fest nights. Did you guys hear about this?
Only from you.
I think you mentioned it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was so cool. So we just finished up Halloween Horror Nights, right? Which is always like you got your daytime ticket and then it's a separate ticket to come to the park at night and with
Yeah.
all the scare actors and everything.
Yeah.
So they were basically doing an event like that in the spring that instead of being like scary, it was still like another immersive world experience kind of thing. Like they had a really cool like Dungeons and Dragons house that you walked through and
Nice.
like something in supernatural Nintendo World where you're like it's like a scavenger hunt for the Yoshi eggs, and because we don't have
Yeah.
Yoshi as a character usually, and Yoshi was there, so it was just like cool
Gotcha.
things
Nice.
like that.
That's actually an awesome thing for them to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so good. They're gonna do it again next year, but I would imagine with different IP. They had oh, here's another one you guys might like. They had Star Trek. So
Hmm.
they
Oh,
had
cool.
you it's from the series though.
Hmm.
The Enterprise, you came and like stood in like where they filmed for that. Star Trek
Okay.
Picard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um
cool.
yeah. So that was fun. And there's like stuff in Harry Potter, but my favorite thing and what I think they really like just did so fantastically was they dressed up Courthouse Square as Back to the Future 1955.
No
Oh,
way.
there
Okay,
we
that's
go.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah. For the 40th anniversary. Yeah, that's
Yeah, for the
amazing.
40th anniversary, you're like, this is amazing. Unfortunately, like the thing that I really wanted to have happen was to take the facade that's there and like show you the actual clock tower. Apparently it needs a lot of repairs or something.
Sure.
I
What a
think we
bummer.
should start a Save the Clock Tower fund for
Yes.
for the 50th
Oh,
anniversary,
Yes.
right?
Let's do it.
We
No,
need to get that facade
that's
like
amazing.
reinstated. Save the clock tower.
yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. We're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ivor's on board.
I love it.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing, so like on the road where the DeLorean, he goes back to the future, they had they had the what am I trying to say? Flame trails.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
okay.
They had
Okay.
flame trails and like the spinning license plate. So that was really
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Um, they had like some other photo stops. They had like picture cars out there. Obviously, the DeLorean. They had Einstein. The park always has Doc Brown, but this time we got Marty McFly's as well. And
Oh,
guys,
nice.
the coolest thing was all these characters. There was, a Biff out there. There was, yeah, there were the parents. Like everybody was there, and they would reenact little scenes from the
Oh,
movie.
okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
like not only so like it's so hard to describe. Basically, you can free roam anywhere. And sometimes the characters are interacting with you. Like you can go meet Marty and he'll chat with you. But then other times, because I think it was on like a 40-minute loop, they would start acting out little vignettes. So you see George punch Biff.
Okay.
You
Okay.
Nice.
see like all these just little you see Doc and Marty at the clock tower chatting and like then anyways you can go over to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance and they've got like a whole
Oh,
go
cool.
dance there and then he plays Johnny Be Good and then they kiss. It's like they reenact
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
cool.
so cool.
And then you run over back to the clock tower and they're projecting the end of the movie on the clock tower facade
No
and
way.
have the lightning strike. There was actual they had sparks come out of the
Nice.
thing.
Oh, that's
It was
so
so well
cool.
done. Yeah. It was insane. I don't know that they'll do like that one next year, but it was the best. Like for Back to the
That,
Future
yeah.
fans,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
so
insane.
cool.
I know. I feel so lucky to have seen the movie in the theater, and now I'm like, I miss the Puente Hills Mall, celebration, and I miss this. Now I'm like, oh
Oh,
my
I'm
God,
sorry.
could have been Back to the Future, October all month
I
long.
know. It could. Yeah, that
Wow.
was but that one was in April, then like in
Oh, okay,
the
okay. So that wasn't.
yeah. That was fan fest. Then we kind of kept it going with, Mega Movie Summer. We talked about last time they did like a lot
Yeah.
of stuff for Jaws, but they also kept the Marty character and they had him and Doc Brown and the DeLorean and Einstein just kind of over for like a photo
Mm.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So they kept it going with that, but it was just
Oh
it
my
was just so
gosh.
special, you know?
Some
Yeah,
of those
that
Universal perks are pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, that sounds really epic. Because
Oh,
I did get to go. I don't know if I mentioned it because I think I went after the last time we talked about Jaws, but I did go to Universal because my wife had like a company picnic there and it was a blast.
amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. And one thing that really stood out was they did have like a Jaws section with characters and they were walking around by where the shark is. And then they had
Mm.
like, they had all kinds of cool merch. I ended up buying like this awesome, Amity vacation, like tank top, which was a big hit everywhere I took it. And then they had like this little stand that I don't think is always themed to Jaws, but it was themed to like Amity.
Correct,
And
yeah.
they had like cool drinks. I got one called like a shark bite, and it had like blood flowing down, and it was fun. I mean, and I was so high on Jaws at the time,
Right.
like, so I loved it. I got pictures with the character actors. I got a picture with the shark, and I was, even though it's like kind of only a
Yeah, it's just
little
kind of off
area
to
of
the
the park.
side. It's over by Waterworld right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and God, I love Water World.
Oh my.
We already know Christian is like, why is
Why did they
Waterworld
still have
still
it after
there?
30 years? Come on.
Because 30 years and it's so good.
They
It's
got
such
rid
a
of the
great
Back to
show.
the Future ride, but they kept the Waterworld show. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Back to the Future. So what I heard is that the video would say we have to get to 2015. So after then they were like, "Oh, we can't have it." And I'm like, "Yes, you can."
Yeah.
Well, because what they do, they rethemed it to Simpsons.
Yeah, that's what this whole Simpsons area is now. It's the exact same ride. They just kind of like reskinned everything to be
Man,
Simpsons.
did you guys ride the original Back to the Future ride at Universal?
Yes, I remember it back in the day.
See, Christian remembers it. I feel like I must have because I know I went in 2008 and I like have glimpses of like memories, but I can't tell if it's like things I've watched on YouTube or like you know what I mean?
Oh, I
But yes.
remember. It was like one of my favorite rides, and like it was really neat because just like a lot of Universal, which was kind of ahead of its time with like the line cues and how they would have like I always loved like I don't know, you rode Jurassic Park when I was a kid, and like Steven Spielberg like was on the TV talking to you about Jurassic Park and this ride, and it was like
Yeah.
Hmm.
really
Hmm.
fun. Well, they do a lot of that same stuff with Back to the Future back then. And it was really neat because it reminds me a little bit now of like you can see where even Disney with like the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, or no, not Rise of the Resistance, Smuggler's Run, borrowed some of the elements from Back to the Future, where like when you're getting on the Millennium Falcon, there's like a little TV with this
Hmm.
character Hondo sort of explaining your mission and like the safety protocols.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, they did the same thing with Back to the Future back in the day. Like you're about to like, board a DeLorean or jump in, and then they have a video with Doc Brown sort of explaining to you what you need to do. Like we got to go into the future and like get this thing, or you know, but it was a lot of fun, and I thought the ride queue was awesome. They had a DeLorean right out front, so I'm pretty sure there's a little, a 90s style picture. It probably has like in the corner that little orange like 92 uh of me like standing as a kid like in front of a DeLorean. Like it was just so exciting. And then the ride itself was really, really neat because to me, you think of the movie Back to the Future, and at least the first one, right? Of all the places you could go with a time machine, they go to 1955, which is like for most of us, especially if you saw it back then, you know, uh
Familiar
familiar.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Right. You're like, I mean, everything we sort of get it. And I know the second one, right? They go into the future, and then in the third one, they go to the Wild West, and they kind of take that concept and go there. But like the ride goes there. As a kid, you're thinking like, where would you take a time machine? And that's exactly what happens. Is like you go to prehistoric times and there's like dinosaurs, and you go to the future and there's like flying cars, and then you end up in this like ice age, and the DeLorean freezes, and like it was really, really exciting as a kid because it sort of brought to life where your imagination took you after seeing the movie.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
cool.
guys, if you could go back in time, where are you going?
Oh, if I could go back in time, I would go back. I'm trying to think, where could I meet Steven Spielberg? Like casually. That's
Casually.
that's what I would do. Like before Jaws, like if I could run into him, that's what I would do. See, you're like living my dream.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I'd go back to
Okay.
1992 because
What's in
it's pretty much all
92?
downhill since there.
He
You know
just
what's
wants to
funny?
see all the 93 films.
Yeah. For like
know what's
$3 a movie. Yeah, how awesome would that be?
You know what's crazy is if you think about it, they go back however long it is from I think 30 years from 85 to 55. And
Yeah.
it's like October 6th to November 5th,
Yeah.
85 or 85 to 55. If you go back 30 years now, that would be 95. So like
Stop talking.
if we were to do that now, we're like we'd just go back to our childhood.
Wow.
I think we're okay with that.
We could go see the Bulls win a championship. Actually, that might have been the year Houston won. I don't know.
95? Yeah, Jordan. Wasn't that when Jordan?
That might
Retired
be
his
when he
first time.
retired. Yeah.
I was like, D-Man can't even pull the betting on something because he doesn't remember who
Yeah.
I'll be
won.
like, dang it! Am I blood? Is this the Bulls? Oh
Uh,
man, that's hilarious. Um,
I don't know. I'm trying to think like because I think if I were to time travel, like honestly, I would want to go either direction, somewhere that is completely unfamiliar. So
yeah.
like as cool as it'd be, I'd have to bring enough plutonium to make sure I get back. But like
A
it'd be cool to
hundred
go see
percent.
dinosaurs
That's what
or
I was thinking. I was like, I want to see dinosaurs, but also I need enough like things with me to be safe from the dinosaurs and to
yeah.
leave. But we got to go see them.
Or I mean, in the movie, they sort of the way time travel works in Back to the Future, Marty's like, "Hey Doc, look me up." Like, I don't know, like you could go to the future and see how things play out, like
That's
whether
true.
that's for you personally or just civilization. You
yeah.
could jump far enough ahead. So like obviously if I was being honest, I would probably go either direction further than anything that would be familiar.
Yeah.
So, and dinosaurs. Like, I mean,
And dinosaurs.
yeah.
That's
I mean, if
funny.
we're gonna go, yeah, we're gonna go see dinosaurs. I'll see if I can bring Steven Spielberg with me.
There you
I'll
go.
be Spielberg. I got a real offer for you, and it's not a podcast. We're
I
gonna
don't
time
know. Is
travel.
this gonna mess up the space-time continuum and like Jurassic Park won't be what it
Because
is
he's
Oh
like,
if
my
oh, I
Steven
god.
already know
Spielberg
what
sees the
dinosaurs
dinosaurs?
are like. I don't need to watch them. I don't need to bring
D-Man,
them
we
to
need to be
life.
careful. We need to be careful.
I know. I can't mess it up. So
God,
I just want to hang out with Spielberg, whether he's on the journey with me or I go back and meet him.
that's
That's
I love how this has nothing to do with time travel. I just want to be with Spielberg.
yeah,
well, I mean, that's fair. That's what he says most episodes, so that's not
yeah.
that's on par for this show. um,
Wait, can
so
I bring in another thing that just to make you
yes,
jealous?
absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Since
Awesome.
I'm living your dreams, this was a huge one for me this year as well. I went to Cinegear, which are you guys familiar? It's like
Yes,
with all the
yes.
Mhm.
cinematography. Yeah. So it was held on the Universal lot, which I thought was awesome. And so back in Courthouse Square, our favorite Hill Valley area, I got to meet Dean Cundy, cinematographer
Wow.
No
of
way.
yeah, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park. He's always wearing this hat that
That's
has
Yeah,
amazing.
dinosaurs on it.
that is
And yeah,
awesome.
it's my favorite thing ever. I am getting a frame for it to hang on my wall because it's amazing.
Because it's his autograph, and you're like, you shot
Yeah.
my two favorite movies.
Look, and he put my name. He put Moose. Sorry.
That's so
Oh
cool.
my gosh, that's so cool.
We had a
I
whole
thought he just
conversation.
signed it. I
He's
didn't know it
like,
was
"Moose." Yeah,
personalized.
personalized.
That's cool.
It's great. But yeah, on the back, he has these great postcards made up. So it's like, I met Dean Cundy at Cinegear.
No way.
So awesome.
That's so cool.
Oh, you
So
are blowing
good.
my mind over here.
Yeah, it's been a good year for anniversary films, and these are all my favorites. So,
Seriously. Oh my gosh.
Very
oh,
cool.
yeah.
So, Caitlin, I wanted to throw something out there that's more movie related, but
Okay.
do you know the famous story of sort of Marty McFly being recast?
Wild, right?
I
So,
know.
yeah, how I guess for those who don't know, but it's a very famous story. They always wanted Michael J. Fox, right? But he
Yeah.
was very busy
Like
filming
booked,
Family
yeah.
Ties. Yeah,
Yep.
booked and busy. Hashtag booked and busy. And so they ended up auditioning a lot of people and had Eric Stoltz.
Yes.
And it's so interesting to watch kind of like interviews and behind the scenes moments because you can tell Eric Stoltz was like a great actor, but he didn't see it as like a comedy at all.
And wasn't
He
like
was,
Sid Shiner pushing for him or something?
yeah, Sid Sheinberg
Mm-hmm.
was like, yeah, he thought he was a great actor. He was pushing
Mm-hmm.
for it. They kind of gave him like a, oh, if it doesn't work out, you can change it, but they never like thought they could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just amazing because 6 weeks they
That's
filmed with
so
him.
wild.
Yeah, they've actually filmed like a significant portion of Marty McFly's scenes.
Yeah. And you think about for like us with filmmaking, how many like millions of dollars that is.
We're wasted. Yeah.
We're like, I mean, we won't say wasted, Christian, because it's so fun to see like the side by sides because you're like, they already
Yeah.
knew how to set up the shots, they knew how
True.
they edited
That's true.
together.
That's true.
Like, so it kind of like sped things up for that reason. But yeah, I just think it's so cool to see they even You guys, just when it comes to the making of this movie, how many things had to change and kind of
Yeah.
changed on the fly too. And you're like, and it still worked. Like here on my shirt, I've got the life preserver, right? The orange
Hmm.
Oh
vest he
yeah.
wears. Eric
Yeah.
Stoltz wasn't wearing that. He was
What?
wearing, yeah, he was wearing like a much darker outfit. They kind of said like they wanted him to blend in more. And then by the time they did the reshoot, they were like, we realize we're missing this other comedic element. So all
Yeah.
that those lines about you look like you're wearing a life preserver, that's added
Being
in.
in the
So even
Coast
though
Guard, all that
ex
stuff.
So
Yeah.
we're
exactly.
fortunate that it happened. Yeah.
Totally, but it's like it's insane to think like yeah, they did reshoots, but also things changed even from actor to actor. So I don't know. It always blows my mind how it all came together so perfectly.
Well,
Well,
and
it's
you, yeah, you brought up a really important thing, which was like his perception of the movie was just not what the end
yeah.
product ended up being. He just thought of it as, this very artistic, like different take.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was so interesting from an actor's perspective. He's kind of not wrong. He said like they got to the end of this table read and Marty goes back and his parents are different. You guys know the ending
Yeah.
of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, this is such a tragedy. This is so sad. He doesn't remember his life. Like all these people in his life have lived a different life that he now has to like pretend to go into, but it's not his life. And I was like, I do understand from like,
Yeah, that's
your
actually
little,
like
yeah,
yeah. It's
like it
kind of
is,
dark.
it is dark. It can be very dark. So I think that was kind of his interpretation of it is he was playing the character as much more like hesitant and scared, and this was all new and terrifying to
Hmm.
actually go back in
Mhm.
time. And they wanted like obviously Michael J. Fox gave him immediately like the comedic, upbeat, funny takes and just so many great one-liners. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that
yeah.
wasn't what was happening originally.
Well, and it's
Well, it,
weird too because so many scenes rest on the charisma of Michael J. Fox. Like it only
100%.
really works, I think, because he plays Marty the way he does. So I mean,
Rewatching it in IMAX, that was my big takeaway is I was like,
yeah,
his performance is so good because you
yeah,
have to balance it so well to not be creeped out that like his mom is attractive and
yeah,
hitting on
yeah,
him.
yeah,
And he's like not totally denying her, but also like, this is so weird. And
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a crazy tightrope to walk.
yeah. And you don't want it to be like so absurdist, like that it could be like, the definitive time travel movie at the time it came out in the 80s. Like this could have just been totally a joke, like
Hmm.
it
yeah.
could have become Hot Tub Time Machine, right?
Right, right, right.
But
Yeah,
like he's restrained enough that it like, the stakes are real and I don't know. It's really amazing. He does a good job.
totally.
Well, talking about the ending too, I also saw an interview, I think, with Crispin Glover, where he was not happy with the idea that when Marty arrives back in 85 and sees his family, they're like financially successful.
Yeah. He's like, it should
Where
just be about love is the,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
His parents should be much more connected and maybe they're a little bit more well off, but that's only the fruits of love being positive
Yeah. Yeah.
versus like, now they're like rich and he owns a company. And I guess, at the end of the day, that's not his call to make, but it was something that I think he pushed for. And he did create a little bit of tension behind the scenes because he did not like it.
Yeah. That's what you hear all the Crispin Glover stories of being a little difficult to work with on this set because he had very strong ideas about what his character should do, just even in like blocking, where
Mhm.
he wouldn't take direction very well. I love the story where they said they like built a little box and they were like, you can't leave this box because he just kept walking out of frame. So,
That's funny.
Well,
yeah.
it's in like when we watched the movie, we left and like the word that came to mind to describe his character, I was like goober. Like he's so manic and like
Yeah.
weird in his mannerisms.
But he's so good. And to go from, I mean, I love his character arc, right? To go from being bullied to, he doesn't like become a bully. He just
But he
stands up for
stands up
himself
for
and
himself.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he like went for the things in his life and he becomes an author and all these things. And um, so I really like that character growth for him. And I think he does a great job. I really need to watch the sequels because I was also looking at some interviews, like you said, and I always forget he's not in the sequels.
Yeah, and that led to a very famous lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, for anybody that doesn't know, you can go look it up and get more details. But essentially, because in Back to the Future 1, they had old man makeup for him when he was in the, well, present day. And then he was just no makeup, himself. Well, not no makeup, but just himself in
Yeah.
55. They had molds of his face, of Crispin Glover's face. And so when they made Back to the Future 2, they couldn't come to terms and he ends up not being in it. Well, the studio ends up using molds of his face to basically make a mask for the actor that took over the role.
Yeah.
And so they literally used his
likeness, yeah.
Of which he didn't sign anything away outside of the first movie because they didn't know they were going to make
God.
it.
Like, you mean kind of like history repeating itself right now?
Yeah, I know, with AI and everything.
Oh no.
But no, it's like it's fascinating because essentially it's like you can recast the character, and if you don't use anything related to me and my specific performance, then we don't have a lawsuit. But they did, and it ended up setting a massive precedent in Hollywood that, like, if you recast anybody, you just can't do that.
It is kind of a wild thing for them to have done, and that's why I'm like, man, I really need to rewatch. But so many people were recast, right? Like Jennifer wasn't in the sequels.
Yeah.
Claudia Wells. So that was interesting. Back to the like Eric Stoltz being recast. I thought it was so sad that Melora Hardin then got recast. You know about this, right?
Yeah.
So Melora Hardin was supposed to be Jennifer, but when it became Michael J. Fox, she was taller than him. So they were like, "Uh-oh, we're gonna have to."
You gotta
exactly. Go. Yeah. So that's the heartbreaking one for me because you're like, "Oh, okay, Marty's not working, but she didn't do anything wrong."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my understanding is
Christian,
there still is. Go ahead.
Real quick, it was funny because when Jennifer came on screen, there were some guys behind us, and they're all like, "Oh my God, she's so hot." And I was like, "Wow, even that works."
Yeah. Jennifer is gorgeous.
I heard there's one frame where Eric is still in the movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
If I remember correctly, I think it's when Marty punches Biff.
I'm ready to debunk Christian.
I think that's actually Eric punching Biff.
Oh, okay.
I have heard this because he said they didn't remember like reshooting that, right? If you watch the movies that made us, have you guys seen this on Netflix?
Yes.
Never seen it. I'm just kidding. Yes, I've seen
it. I
it.
was like, he's lying. They go on to say that they found where they did definitely reshoot it. So but like, you're right. The eye line is wrong. Biff should be looking down further at Marty. So they're like, it was probably a stunt man. But, it is always possible that frame is Eric Stoltz.
All right. Well,
I
guess he's not in the movie at all then. Thanks, Kaitlin. You just crushed Eric's dreams.
Sorry.
Can I just say, I was actually shocked that some of the jokes that were, I guess, timely in 85 have held up incredibly well.
That's a really good point.
Because the first one that comes to mind is Calvin Klein.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is still around, but like, let's say that brand had died by the 90s.
Yeah.
And then you have a whole generation of people watching this movie. That really wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or like,
Ronald Reagan, the actor.
The actor.
That's so
And then
good.
he brings it up later and like, I don't know. And then there's the whole like sort of terrorist element where, they're like, he's like, "Oh my God, it's them." And, Marty's like, "Who?" And he's like, "The Libyans." And you're like, I mean, that's kind of its time, right? But like the jokes all really still hit, which shocked me because they are timely. Yeah. Between 85 and 55. And here we are, 40 years later, and the movie's still funny as hell.
Oh, it's so good. Like, just rewatching it, like every other line is a quotable line. I think that's like writing. I think that's performance. And like you were saying with the audience cheering, like the audience is laughing. It's just such a beloved film. It's so good.
I especially love when like the whole audience cheered when 55 Doc Brown is like, "Marty, we have to get you back to the future." Was amazing. I
So
mean, the
good.
line, one line that just stuck out to me, like made me, it was two lines really. They were both about plutonium.
Uh-huh.
And I think they're in the parking lot of the mall and Marty's like, Doc, where did you get this plutonium? Like, did you steal it? And he comes back and he's like, of course. Like
Yeah.
and then back in 55, he makes a comment where he's like, Marty, I know plutonium's probably in every drugstore in
Yes.
1985.
It's just
And
so good.
both of those just had me dying. But our
Yeah.
audience in my theater was like electric because we were laughing at everything. I don't know. There were so many one-liners, and everybody at the end of the movie quoted the famous
Roads where
roads.
we're going, we don't need roads.
Yes.
So good.
The whole theater, and then everybody cheered, and the
Yes.
DeLorean takes off. I mean, it was a
It's
blast. I
like
had so much
chills.
fun.
Yes. I love it so
That's
much.
awesome. So
The
So
other line, Christian, that just had me laughing was when he's just standing there, like with the remote, getting the DeLorean ready, and he's like, "If my calculations are correct, you're gonna see some real shit." And I just started dying laughing.
Oh
Oh my
man.
God.
oh man,
Yeah,
Such
that
a
movie just works so well.
so
I
well.
love it. Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, CP.
No, well, so I think one of the things that I think about Back to the Future that I kind of underestimate is Zemeckis as a director. Obviously, we know he's an incredibly talented director, right? He's made some amazing movies. He's always been on the
Classics.
cutting edge of innovating cinema, right? He's won his, Academy Awards for Forrest Gump. But
Yeah.
I thought there were really two things um from the time that I think actually really resonated with me. And they're not actually what you see on the screen. So the first one is the fact that in Zemeckis' contract, the movie can never be remade while he is alive.
No, I didn't know that.
And I think that was an awesome thing that he
So they
did.
can only do a sequel,
Theoretically, yeah.
technically. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. I wonder how many people get that in their contract because that's kind of nuts.
Which I thought that was really cool and super like forward thinking of him
Hmm.
as a filmmaker in the 80s. But the other thing is, right? Obviously, Zemeckis is credited as being one of the new wave guys, right? With Coppola and Scorsese and Spielberg and Lucas, right? Yet, like Spielberg and Lucas and Coppola, this is his trilogy. Like every 80s filmmaker, like the
Oh,
true
that's
mark
interesting
and rite
too.
of
Yeah.
passage is, did they do a trilogy?
So I'm thinking,
He
what do we
did.
got? Godfather, Indiana Jones, Star
Star
Wars,
Wars.
obviously,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then Back to the Future.
Yeah. I think that's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool.
That's
That's
pretty
cool.
neat. I didn't even think of that. They should have done an ET trilogy.
Did you ever hear about the sequel for E.T.?
Yeah, it sounded
No.
horrible.
That might be what Spielberg's making now is his like alien movie. He might have just like recycled it.
It's like Prometheus. Yeah, bring it back after like 30 years or whatever. 40 years, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Drew Barrymore would be on board. I'd watch.
I mean, if ET comes, I guess back to his second home, I'd be down. As long as Spielberg's involved, count me in.
There we go.
Yeah, we know that. We know that, dude.
No, that's interesting, CP. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kaitlin can't be the only person on this podcast with random facts.
Well,
No.
I wanted to throw it out to you guys.
Yeah.
I know that this screenplay, Back to the Future, is actually one that's studied in film schools. It's often considered, I don't want to call it a perfect screenplay, but it's worthy of, training the new generation of filmmakers on. Do you think there's like any flaws, or was there anything that stood out to you as like, wow, they probably shouldn't have done that? Because I think it works pretty well.
Okay, this is the tiniest flaw that I thought was funny, and I'm sure there are others, but this is the one that's coming to my mind. Um, Again, to flex my universalness on you guys, we had a fun screening where Bob Gale introduced the film, and there was like a Q&A,
Oh my
and
gosh.
he admitted one problem that people point out and that they knew when filming, but when you're at the mall and you see the DeLorean for the first time, it comes out of the truck, right? And he drives backwards
Yeah.
and then it opens up the crazy doors and like Doc Brown pops out. Um, there's no way for Doc Brown to like it's tight in the truck. There's no way to open the doors or for Doc Brown to have gotten in the DeLorean. And and so he like admitted to that being like okay, you guys are right. But that's not like
Yeah,
Well, that
okay.
or like Doc Brown would have had to have driven it in, and then somebody else would have had to have driven the truck, but there's nobody else.
right. And you're like, okay, so did he like get there to the mall and then be like, oh, Marty's about to come. I'm gonna drive back up in for the reveal.
That's how
Like,
my mind is going to rationalize it because this movie's amazing.
yeah,
So,
no, 100%. But he did mention that, so it was funny.
another
That
classic line too when Marty's like, Doc, you made a
Time
time
machine,
machine out of a DeLorean, and
DeLorean.
he's like, hey, you might as well make one with style. And
So
you're like,
good.
damn, they're so right. Like the DeLorean became so famous after that. Still is. People
yeah,
know.
Yes.
I know, dude.
Um, and then another question I had for you guys is Back to the Future the definitive time travel movie for you? Because there's a lot now. I mean, even in a movie like Avengers Endgame, they mention Back to the Future and sort of say they're going to do time travel differently within the context of the MCU. But I mean, even to that extent, like whenever anybody says time travel movie, is it Back to the Future that just comes to mind? Because I think of Harry Potter,
I
Prisoner
was
of
gonna say Harry
Azkaban.
Potter did a great one with the time turner.
Yeah,
Like
that
that's very
Looper
fun.
was interesting. Obviously Avengers Endgame, but I mean, I think for me, Back to the Future is.
Hmm. I'm trying to think if I was like, maybe sci-fi isn't my typical go-to genre. So I'm like, wait, what other time travel movies? Time Traveler's Wife.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Oh man.
Terminator.
Oh, Terminator is an interesting one.
But I
There's
think
always
it's I think it's got to be Back to the Future in my opinion. Just in the sense that first of all, they play with all of the time travel paradoxes that like exist, right? And they
yeah.
lean into them. On top of it, as you said it yourself, it is the reference point to like, I mean, even I remember there's a time travel episode of South Park and they're like, "Oh, does time travel follow like Terminator rules or Back to the Future rules?" Like
Yeah.
it's like very definitive in like that's how we understand time travel, right?
Yeah, because even the movie itself has the paradox of, right, like Marty goes back and uh him and Doc become friends and sort of explains why would become friends in the future, but it's like, how could he be friends with him already in the future in order to go back in time? So like there's already a time travel
Yeah.
paradox. And this is true of every time travel movie. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, I guess maybe you could consider like Interstellar a time travel movie. It's more like time dilation than time travel. So I don't know.
I
I
vote
yeah,
yes. And I sorry, can I go off on a tangent?
yeah. Let's hear it.
You were talking about like um their friendship and it reminded me, have you guys seen the amazingly edited YouTube video Broke Back to the Future?
No.
No, I'll add
Oh
it to the
my
list.
God. You have to go check it out. It's just, you know, making their relationship a little more than, and it's amazing.
That is
Oh, that's
hilarious. I
great.
love it.
It's
Oh
so
my
good.
gosh.
Man, I do love their friendship in the movie though. It's
Yeah.
like so heartwarming in the at the end when like they have to say bye, but there's like this glimmer of hope that they're gonna see each other again.
Yeah.
And even like, Marty gets there a little bit too late. And then he has that line again where like he's like standing there by the movie theater. And I love that homeless guy is like stupid drunks. And
Yeah.
then Marty like repeats the line from earlier where he's like, "Oh no, the Libyans." And then he like, gets to the mall and Marty still or Doc Brown still gets shot. And then he goes down there and he realizes that he read the letter and you're like, "Oh, yes." You're just so happy
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. That was another part when we're talking about Michael J. Fox's performance. When I was rewatching it, um, it really stood out when he's just trying to get the information across to Doc that he's not going to see him, or just the way he plays it with like, he's like, I can't wait to see you in the future. And he's like, yeah, I hope so. It's just very,
Yeah, yeah,
oh, it's so heartfelt. And
yeah,
he's like, I love the way he played that.
I know like their friendship, especially like when they're doing the like figuring out the time travel in 55. I love just their interactions, you know. Doc's the same guy, and once Marty sort of gets him on his side, it's like the exact same dynamic as they were
Yeah,
at the mall.
totally. I
So
also
that
just love, like, from the filmmaking aspect, to have to redress a set from the different time periods. Like, that's another really cool one. We were talking about time travel. That's another reason I just love Courthouse Square because you can so specifically see it in the films as, especially the second one, as like, 2015 or like
yeah.
Biff's casino thing happened.
Yeah.
Like, all the
Yeah.
different things it's
Yeah.
been. I think that would be a really fun and interesting challenge for the filmmakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I bet it was a lot of fun. And I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many good, like you said, the life preserver gag. I like when
Yeah.
Marty arrives and he, crashes one of the twin pines
Lone
and,
Pine Mall.
Lone Pine Mall when he comes
Yeah.
Yeah.
back. But like
Yeah.
he gets out of the DeLorean and they think he's like an alien. Kind of reminded me of that scene from
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick where he like walks into the diner and he's like, "What year is it?"
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, just so many good gags throughout the movie. I mean, like you said, Biff was kind of a prototypical bully, that fit like that 1955's vibe. But then he sort of has that like, that uncomfortable scene where he's trying to hook up with Marty's
Oh my
mom.
gosh.
Yeah.
The older I get, the more I'm like, that is super dark. Like,
Yeah.
what's happening in that car is really, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
they're like glossing
Yeah.
over it and making it PG, but this is insane.
Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
that instance, no did not mean no. And
Correct.
Biff was a true bully. He deserved, I mean, to get punched. I mean, honestly, he might have deserved to get arrested, go to
Hmm.
jail.
Hmm.
I know it's 55, but you're like, man, watching it, that was one of the things, you're giving 40 years between when it was released and it's not played for laughs or anything. It's very serious, even in that context. But still, you watch it now and you're like, damn, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's, a lot. But yeah, there's just so many cool dynamics. I even love when they get to the mall, like how they have shots of Einstein. I mean, I'm like, man, I wish I had Einstein as a dog. Like,
Einstein that was supposed to be a chimp.
I
Was he?
heard that.
I did
Yes.
not know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It was originally a chimp, and instead of the DeLorean, it was a fridge.
A refrigerator. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the fridge thing they ended up getting rid of it because at the time they didn't have like the safety things they do now for fridges. And they were afraid that if like they made the
Little
fridge too
kids.
cool, little
Cool,
kids
yeah.
would climb into their fridge and get locked
Mm.
inside.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually really smart. I'm glad that they were thinking that way.
Well,
That
and the
and
DeLorean's just way better.
well, yeah, it just makes it so much more cinematic. Like, can you imagine you have to That's what I'm saying. It's so insane to me the the process of making this film and how the original script, had these differences because you have to go to a stationary place to time travel. They
Hmm.
had, it was supposed to be like an atom bomb instead of the lightning strike, but that was too over budget, so they ended up like they literally went on one of the golf carts at Universal and just rode around and were like, okay, what can we do? What can we do? And they saw Courthouse Square and were like, what if we put a clock up there? And that, like, the whole Save the Clock Tower thing wasn't even a part of it. That's just wild to me that like you can have a script so changed from, the original thing and it still just be better, honestly.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. Like, that is significantly better.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's interesting too because I know they made changes while they were shopping the script around, but it's interesting in the fact that I mean, I don't know what the original script actually looked like in its entirety, but people were passing on the movie. I think
Mhm.
Disney had a chance to make Back to the Future and they passed. They were uncomfortable, I think, with the whole Marty and his mom. They're
They
like, that's
said
not
too
our brand.
too incestuous. Thank you. By
I mean, that tracks. That tracks.
Well, and it's interesting because like where the Biff thing I think doesn't age very well. Like, you watch it today and it's very uncomfortable. For whatever reason, the interaction between Marty and his younger mom is actually somewhat charming. I thought it worked
Mhm.
really well. It's still slightly like icky, but Marty plays it that way, or Michael J. Fox plays it that way. So
Yeah.
it works. Like, I don't know. And then yeah, like I love that scene at the end with the Biff thing where you see his fist and Biff's gonna get it, and then he does, and it's just awesome.
You kind of
Yeah.
also, when I was thinking about it again, because you're like, yeah, wow, this really does like go pretty far with it. But I feel like Lorraine almost has to kiss Marty to know that she doesn't like him, so that then she can like George. You know what I mean? Because she's
Mm,
so infatuated with Marty.
that's actually a
Yeah.
good point from a
I
writing
just think like
perspective.
story wise, you have to get there for her to have that switch. Otherwise, it would have probably been like too easy, like a
Hmm.
cop out
Yeah.
for her to go with George.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
And I do think, you get to that uncomfortable scene with Biff, but it is interesting because it's set up properly with Marty telling his dad that he's basically going to do what Biff is doing.
Yeah.
And so it's not out of the blue. Like he's basically like, I'm going to set this up for you so you can step in and be the hero. And then Biff just takes it upon himself to just do it for real.
Yeah.
But you're like, no, I mean, I guess, works really well in the context of the story. So Biff
And
got what was coming to him.
seeing the punch and then seeing the punch in the sequels, you're just like, yeah. Like from
Mhm.
all the different angles, you're like, I will replay this a million times. So good.
Well, one of the things that also stood out to me was just the theme song. I mean, we were
Oh my
talking about
gosh.
theme
Music's so
music
good.
from all of Spielberg's movies, and here you have such a classic theme. I actually think, even though the most exciting part is when the theme hits in full and like the DeLorean's taking off, like love that. But I really love the theme that's almost romantic, where they do it at the end. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna tear up. This is
Mhm.
amazing.
It's weird because I think when people are thinking of the great, movie scores, I don't know that Back to the Future jumps to the top of anyone's list, but it's so iconic, dude.
Yeah.
I've been singing it for a week after seeing the movie.
See, I sing like Power of Love.
I mean, that's a great
Also
song, though. I
great.
love that song, even outside of the context of, Back to the Future. I just love that song.
So good.
Gotta go back. Oh, so good.
Oh, yeah, even that one, like the one that's on the end credits,
Hmm.
Hmm.
was just great. Even though that one to me is more associated with the movie, where Power of Love, I still hear on the
That's the
radio.
power of love.
Yeah,
So
it's a
good.
great song. So,
So
anyway,
fun. So fun.
I don't know if you guys have any final thoughts on Back to the Future or even any more stories regarding Universal, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time talking about Back to the Future right now.
Absolutely.
Caitlin, do you have any more stories? Because you're the one who's got the cool ones.
I
We
was
just
trying to
watch
look at my
movies. You
notes. I
live
was like,
them.
no. Um, it's so funny. Anyone of my coworkers at Universal would be like, Caitlin hasn't seen a single film, so it's amazing. You guys just pick the ones I love. Um, no, I was just gonna say another funny one that I learned from the Bob Gale Q&A was, the where the clock tower is, there are like those giant cat statues.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally were just walking around Universal's property department and found those. They were from the 1982 horror film Cat People. So they just
Wow.
put those up there.
That's
I can
awesome.
I have never heard of that movie, but now I
No,
kind of
right.
want to watch it. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I just love that. And then
Like
again, just from like the filmmaking perspective, I didn't think about until getting this job that, yeah, we've got the clock tower, but any of those like close-up shots where Christopher Lloyd looks like he's about to fall and he's really struggling, that was the clock tower rebuilt inside a soundstage 12.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, I didn't know that either.
I
yeah, yeah,
figured they
yeah.
just shot it all at the actual clock tower.
No, only like the wides, and probably that's with like a stunt performer. So if you go back and watch, you can kind of see it all pieced together where it's like
Hmm.
soundstage, wide, soundstage, backlot. Because
Wow.
you can't
Okay.
see his face. So you're like, okay, so that's a stunt man up there, except for maybe a clip or two. And then for the most part, it's like much closer because we tell our guests, like, don't worry, he was only like a foot off the ground. He's not falling anywhere. That's
That's
acting.
acting. That's
Yes.
funny.
Oh man. But if you
Wow.
guys want to
Okay.
see, you were talking about the DeLorean. We used to just have it in the park and we've brought it back for some anniversary events. But if you're just in need of seeing a DeLorean, go to the Peterson Automotive Museum. One of them's over there.
Oh,
Cool.
really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, I wish I had a DeLorean.
Right?
I know. That'd be so much fun. I mean, I'd have to always park in the back of a lot because of the doors. But but I mean, I'd take such great pride in it.
Oh man. Yeah.
And anytime I got on the freeway, I'd hit 88.
Oh, just everything's so perfect. Even the details like 88 miles per hour. Like it just is Back to the Future.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. Well, Kaitlin,
oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for coming on. I mean,
thank you for having me. This was so awesome.
Yeah, this was a blast. I mean, this movie is one that it's hard to find much fault in, but I mean, your stories from the park, obviously getting to discuss the ride and then, our experiences watching it on the big screen. This was so much fun.
It really was.
Next up to the filming locations.
Yeah,
seriously.
We got to do the tour.
Yep. We seriously have to. And you're going to have to let us know what other anniversary screenings are coming out that you're like, oh, I happen to know Universal's doing this. So then we can have you back on the show to,
I wish we'd made a bigger deal. It's the 65th anniversary of Psycho. I don't know why we didn't do cool things for that.
You would have thought that they would have.
Yeah. I guess 65, maybe that's like a weird... They'll get around to doing another 5-year increment something.
I've never seen that in the theaters either. So I'm like, I would totally go.
It'd be amazing, right?
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast again. I mean, these episodes are so much fun and obviously open invitation. Would love to have you back. Maybe third host. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
I appreciate you guys. You're too fun.
And how can people find you if they got questions?
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Just my name, Kaitlin, Kaitlin Moose, like the animal, Moose, on both YouTube and Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and talking Back to the Future.
Love it, guys.
We're
out of time.
I know. If you're just listening right now, like I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, CP's wearing nothing. He's shirtless. And
so tune in to the video.
Yeah. No, Caitlin's actually like rocking the appropriate, t-shirt. She's got Back to the Future, which is awesome. Just legendary. Yeah, she's got the out of time license plate, the life preserver, clock tower, DeLorean, all of it. It's just incredible shirt.
Got to get the flux capacitor in there.
The flux capacitor. Great stuff.
Great Scott.
Okay, well, that does it for our episode. I wasn't wrong at the beginning. That actually was a long discussion. It was a ton of fun. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to Kaitlin for coming on the show and sharing a lot of her personal experiences and stories and obviously just love for Back to the Future. So Kaitlin, thank you so much. And to our listeners, be sure to go follow Kaitlin, check out her YouTube channel, and continue the conversations. We appreciate you guys listening and hope you really enjoyed the show. You can follow us at FilmCompPod or at FilmCompPodcast on Instagram. You can follow me at BigKidDman and CP.
You can follow me at NDCal5. Thank you for hanging out and talking Back to the Future with us. We will see you back here next week. Until then, keep watching movies.
And where we're going, we don't need roads.
Oh, yes. Nailed it.